In recent years, the intersection of politics and technology has become a focal point of intense debate, especially concerning the role of social media platforms in controlling public discourse. One of the most prominent examples of this clash is the ongoing battle between former U.S. President Donald Trump and big tech companies over issues of free speech and censorship. Today, we explore the intricate dynamics of this confrontation and its implications for democracy. The controversy began to surge during Trump's presidency when his unfiltered communication style on platforms like Twitter and Facebook began drawing widespread attention. Advocates praised these platforms for offering direct access to presidential thoughts, bypassing traditional media filters. Critics, however, argued that Trump's rhetoric often crossed the line, infringing community guidelines designed to prevent misinformation or hate speech. The crux of the debate centers on a series of high-profile actions taken by big tech against Trump, most notably his permanent ban from Twitter and Facebook in the aftermath of the Capitol riot on January 6, 2021. These platforms justified their decisions by citing the risk of further incitement to violence, arguing they had a responsibility to protect public safety and uphold community standards. This move was met with a firestorm of criticism from Trump's supporters and free speech advocates. They accused big tech of wielding too much power over public discourse, effectively silencing a sitting U.S. president and setting a disturbing precedent for censorship. They argued that these actions stifled political speech and could undermine democratic principles by allowing a few corporations to control who gets to speak in what has become the modern public square. On the other side of the argument, supporters of the bans contend that these platforms have the right and perhaps the duty to moderate content that could incite violence or spread falsehoods. They argue that freedom of speech is not synonymous with freedom from consequences, especially when such speech could threaten public order or safety. This clash raises critical questions about the nature and limitations of free speech in the digital age. Should private companies have the autonomy to determine who uses their platforms and how? Or, given their significant influence over public discourse, should they be subject to greater regulation to ensure they do not unfairly stifle voices, particularly those of elected officials? The debate has prompted calls for legislative action, with some advocating for reforms to Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act, which provides legal immunity to online platforms for user-generated content. Proponents of reform argue that this law needs revision to prevent arbitrary censorship. In conclusion, the clash between Trump and big tech over free speech and censorship highlights a fundamental tension in our digital society, balancing the right to free expression with the need to maintain a safe and truthful public forum. As technology continues to evolve, so too will these discussions, challenging us to rethink and redefine the principles of free speech and responsibility in the digital age. The outcome of this dialogue will significantly shape the future of how we communicate, engage, and participate in our democratic processes.